Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Maitreyi and I'm very passionate about tabletops and I am learning to be a better GM, a better player, and a better person. And I want to share some of the cool stuff with you that I have been learning. So today I want to talk to you about a few things that I learned from various places, but I have seen them done to sort of the greatest effect in Critical Role. So I consider them to be the folks that I learned this stuff from because, they're the best representation of these things that I've seen. For folks who don't know, I got into tabletops a couple of years ago. It was summer. Twitch had just started to take off, and my partner kind of got me into watching this show on there, mainly because he knows what a big fan I am of seeing people just kind of be goofy and not take themselves too seriously and have fun, and hot nerds. Big fan of hot nerds, and there's like 7 of them on the show. So I got pretty into following the show. This game I didn't really know too much about, but my partner had played older editions of it in high school. Eventually I got to the point where I was sort of itching to play the game. I was consuming all kinds of D&D content online, mainly Geek and Sundry's GM tips and Matt Colville's running the game videos. But for the life of me, I couldn't find anyone to play with me in person. I only ever seemed to talk to people who either were not interested at all or people who were also looking for a game to join. So sort of tangentially, I started playing Shadowrun because that was the only game that was kind of available to me. But I had no options for D&D. So I did what I tend to do in situations like that. And I said, fuck it, I'll just do it myself. And so that's how I started jamming. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, which is that, Matt Mercer made it look easy and Matt Colville made it sound easy. So I was like, yeah, no, I can totally do this. I'm not as hot as Matt Mercer, but my hair is at least as nice. So, I feel like I'm on the right path. So I went in with some nervousness, but also the confidence of the prepared, because I had been consuming and digesting information and insights from the best. And yeah, I've learned a lot since then. I've kind of honed my craft, so to speak. And I continue to learn not just from them, but from everyone around me and from a lot of different places. But I would like to think I started decently strong. And that's sort of in part because of all the preparation, but also of my players all cutting me so much slack, which they do to this day. Everyone just wanted to play and have a good time, and I trusted them to want that, and I was right. I've definitely had a few problem players over the years, but all that was fairly recent. I basically had no problem players when I first started playing. So it was a great environment for me to learn in. Anyway, so of that, what did I specifically learn from Critical Role in those early days that I continue to aspire to be great at? Number 1, the Critical Role effect. Everyone knows the Matt Mercer effect, about there being sort of unrealistic expectations for GMs or something. I don't know. I think it's a pretty stupid and dismissive concept personally. So I'm not gonna, get into it too much here. But what I think does exist and doesn't get talked about is the Critical Role effect. A group of people who love and respect each other and the game that they're playing. It's the group dynamic that's so magical and aspirational. It's not any one person. What they enable and allow for each other is the part that's incredible. So, Critical Role effect. And the value of having players kind of respect and love and trust each other. Number 2, keep crosstalk to a minimum. Obviously, you're not going to remove it altogether. I mean, ultimately, this is time spent sort of enjoying yourself with your friends, and that comes with a certain amount of levity. But if you're able to kind of make sure that, the table is a little bit more focused on that kind of thing, it's easier online, I find. But giving people the space and time to do and say things without them being interrupted or distracted can lead to some really incredible gameplay. Number 3, make adventure hooks personal. This is something that I think we all try to do as GMs anyway, but I very firmly believe that even though ideally, the PCs don't think of themselves as protagonists and they're just sort of reacting to things in the world, they effectively are for your purposes as a GM. The world exists for them to react to, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit more later. So the more traditional approach to this would be let the players kind of find their own motivation to get involved in the world. For example, a small nearby village has been looted and pillaged by bandits. Sure, the PCs go and save them because they are heroic and good, and that's what one does. But if the bandit captain is one of your PC's long-lost sister, now on top of your village adventure, there is potential for at least one character to have a bit of a backstory or personal arc on the table. That's going to make everybody more invested, specifically that player. There was a great GM roundtable recently with Burnley Milligan, Matt Mercer, and Abria Anger, where Burnley Milligan said 3 words that have stuck with me and really underscored this point. Make it matter. Number 4, the value of Interparty RP. Tangentially to the last point, when a character has something brought up or is even reacting to the world, at least one other player at the table reacts to them with a critical role. So it's not just like 6 people reacting to Matt Mercer. If anything, Matt Mercer is like a fraction of what is happening at the table. Characters are constantly interacting with each other. This makes them more bonded as a party, and you as the GM can sit back and watch and understand what's important to your players. Like, that's the real point. Interparty RP, just for the fuck of it, that's a lot of fun. But the point is, it's an opportunity for you as the GM to kind of seize on what's important to your characters and build in more personalization in future games. And the thing is, for the Critical Role group, as players, they've been kind of doing this for years now, so they have a cadence developed. If it's still something kind of newish to you and your table, promise it isn't hard to do. I've actually got a short 7-minute video on how to enable Interparty RP. I'll link that in the description if you want to check it out. Last but certainly not least, probably most crucial actually, number 5, invest in your players. The most crucial thing that I have gotten out of Critical Role is to understand that compelling stories and engaging games come from investing at the characters at the table as they invest in you. Let yourself be influenced by them. Your world can be as epic as the Mahabharata or the Shahnameh, but you cannot have that exist in a vacuum and expect it to mean anything, or to become as epic as you want it to be. The world only exists insofar as your players want to interact with it and each other within it. And I know that some GMs are of the opinion, well, my world exists and the players can engage or not, the world's gonna keep existing. Okay, but first of all, if nobody wants to play, then the world stops existing. Second of all, that's a really exclusionary approach. Like, it's sort of your world, and these guys get to kind of come and like play in it. It's super not. It's not a game for everyone at that point. It's your game, and you've invited them to come play with your ball, which you make clear that you can take away at any time. Like, it's really not as important as one might think that the players respect the sanctity of your creation. Maybe if that's really important to you, this might not be the right medium for a story. And I don't want to be like glib and like, oh, write a book. But like, maybe you should write a book, because like, then you're able to just tell your story and not have to deal with people sort of interacting with it beyond just absorbing it. If you build your world and your encounters with your players in mind, suddenly everything starts to sparkle more. Encourage RP, encourage emotional complexity, encourage backstories to exist within the context of the world. And when you have combat, make it relevant to the story and not just an encounter for the sake of an encounter. Suddenly, things resonate. Things become dramatic. The stakes are higher. It's incredible because you're helping tell their story within your world. It's not yours alone. Anyway, so those are the 5 things that I learned from Critical Role that have made me a quantifiably better GM. Still learning to do some of those things, all of those things, even better and even better and even better. They were really meaningful to me, and I hope they were to you as well. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Come and see me again soon. Bye.